So we've established the following 7 points. Let me summarize the 7 points we've established so far. The remaining theory, we'll call it, the unproven but also undisproven theory of the metaphorical analogous theory to unhearable notes exist, but it may be applied to different situations as well. So we'll call that the remaining theory. And the proven theory is the skeptic's theory that unhearable notes do not exist or do not necessarily exist. And that one is proven in the sense that it is proven based on all observable human understanding and observation. So although it's proven in a sense, and all humans take it to be proven, we'll find out later that due to the law we've just discussed, it may in fact not be true, although it's been proven. But we'll discuss that in a minute. So we've established the following 7 points. The remaining conjecture is abducted from available information. The remaining conjecture has very good explaining power, statistically significant, you could say. It is not an insignificant topic. The remaining conjecture has not been disproven, or cannot be disproven, in light of current being at the time it is deemed reasonable, current human understanding. Point 4, the conjecture, if true, explains things currently not explained, or contributes corroboration to current explanations using essentially different explanation. That point prevents the use of Occam's razor. Point 5, the remaining conjecture has somehow been proven to, in fact, not be provable in light of current human understanding. Point 6, human understanding is not all-encompassing. The law of unobservable phenomena applies to human understanding. Point 7, the fact that something cannot be understood does not imply that it is untrue or non-existent, or even insignificant. Okay, so from these 7 points, it is still reasonable to believe the unproven conjecture, or at least to hope that the unproven conjecture is true. Yet it is hypothesized that the known to be true is more likely than the unknown to be true. Did I misspeak? No. It is hypothesized that the known or proven to be true, and known I mean using the mental capacity. Our minds know it to be true. And proven in the human sense of proven through human observation and reason. It is hypothesized that that topic, the known to be true, is more likely than the unknown to be true. But the reality of the fact is that the law of unobservable phenomena implies that this is not necessarily the case. It may be that unobservable evidence, and we're talking physically unobservable and mentally uncontemplatable, is also unobservable phenomena. It may be that the unobservable evidence is infinitely more than the observable evidence. We don't know the size of that field of data. How could we? It's unobservable. It could be less, equal to, greater than, or so much greater than that it renders what is observable essentially useless. Or it could be that there is no unobservable phenomena. We don't know because it's unobservable. That would render the likelihood of the so-called known to be potentially untrue. The unobserved data may go against the status quo theory. In other words, the one we take to be proven may be true in light of all data. But it may be the case that data we have not ascertained yet, or that maybe in fact we cannot ascertain, it may be the case that that data contradicts our theory and supports the unproven theory. Do you see that? Even if the body of observable evidence supporting the proven theory is infinite, it does not entail that it is even more likely than the theory which has not a shred of observable evidence. Insofar as it is possible that unobservable evidence is potentially able to support the unproven theory and potentially able to falsify the proven theory. And it may be the case that the unobservable is a set of a greater infinity than the observable, much like rational and irrational numbers. In my background is theoretical mathematics, part of it is. And if you don't know, there are in fact infinity to the infinity power irrational numbers for every one rational number. Let's say that it's not numbers, it's a body of evidence that's unobservable. If it is of that magnitude, it would be of such a great magnitude, it would render the observable, which are metaphorically analogous to the rational numbers, it would render the observable evidence completely null and void, because it would be less, it would not be less than 1%, it would not be less than 0.5%, it would not be less than an infinitesimal amount of a percent, it would be less than the infinitesimal root of an infinitesimal amount of a percent. In other words, it would be essentially zero, would be the significance of the rational or the observable evidence in light of such a great body of unobservable evidence. Therefore, it is not more reasonable or even safer to believe the so-called proven instead of the unproven, because it cannot be known which is more likely or the truth value of either, insofar as it is possible that unknowable evidence may play a role. Therefore, there are only two types of people, not those that are smarter and less smart, not those that are more correct and less correct, but only those that prefer the known and those that prefer the unknown. It is a matter of preference, since the truth value cannot be established. There are those that prefer what is known or are content with the status quo, and there are those that prefer what is hoped for but not thought to be knowable to be true. The latter we call the faithful, the first group we call the faithless, because no one prefers something that they are sure is untrue, but some may prefer a better possibility to a less good assuredness. In fact, nothing can be known, only believed in, only faithed in, but we'll talk about that later. Alright, YouTube, have a super duper day.